Okay, so today we're going to review another application that's available through the DroidApps. In this particular application, you will be able to take a static image and have a Ken Burns zoom in effect while adding some background music as well, or background comments or conversations to the static image. It's a way to animate static images and provide a little bit more life to the actual image. So why don't we take a look at the website and let's get started. So first, as I mentioned before, I step into the API docs just to look to see what options are available. And here the option or the app that we're looking to take advantage of is the animate photo. Before I click this animate photo, there's going to be a lot of options that you will be able to go in there and experiment with. In this particular instance, we are going to focus on the motion effects and the zoom direction. We're going to be zooming in this particular instance. But as you can see, there's a lot of motion effects that you can alter in terms of the parameters. Let's look at here at some of the input files that will be required. You will be required to load a photo file or photo URL, which I did in this case, as well as an audio URL or audio file. I loaded an audio file in this particular case. I loaded a WAV file. I think it's important to note, make sure you use WAV or MP3. Um, I attempted to load M4A audio type from Apple. Uh, I'm sure we're going to modify it to incorporate it, but just make sure that you use WAV or MP3 file for this instance, please, so that you can take advantage of the tool. As you continue down, as I mentioned here, a lot of potential parameters and motions that you can play with or experiment with. Here in this particular instance, I am just going to use the zoom direction parameter, and that is the one that we're going to focus on today. So, as I mentioned below, you will find the curl at the very bottom. You can see all the potential effects that you can experiment with. Um, Please feel free to use any one of them. But I'm going to come down and identify here the curl. This is where you usually put in your curl. You copy your curl, and then you can go to your N8N node. So I've pinned them here again. We have to start the automation, um, to initiate it. Here we've initiated it, and let's look at the zoom in node here specifically. Again, here let's start from the top. This is a post that is going to be sent to the URL that's listed here, / animate underscore photo. If you import it from your curl, you should see that information. Once again, here is my API key. I will be disabling it after this video as well. As you continue down and you look at the form data, what we are going to load is the photo URL. The photo URL, in my case, I uploaded it to Cloudinary. You can keep it on your Google Drive if you like. And in addition, I've also uploaded my audio. In this particular example, what I've done is I've loaded a recording from um, a small snippet of a recording from one of the Tom Cruise movies where he references Porsche. Um, the image that I've selected is a Porsche Cayman, and I'll just show it to you guys here briefly. Here is a picture of the Porsche Cayman that I've selected. Okay, and here is my audio file. Here's my WAV file. As you can see, it's a 30-second file. I've uploaded both of these to the Cloudinary page. You can see it here. Here are my two files. Here's my audio, and here is my a picture of my Porsche, right? At least for this example. As you continue, let's take a quick look. Um, Here is the output data that you generate. Um, you get your 200 message and your task ID, and here is the actual URL link with the status once it's completed. This process, depending on the length of the audio and the video and the image, can take up to 2 to 3 minutes, just as a point of reference. So let's take a look at the URL. I've already copied it to my browser and downloaded it and saved it to a folder on my Google Drive. So here is the actual task. So let's take a look at the actual video. And so you've seen a picture of the Porsche, and now I've loaded the audio file attached to it, and we're going to take advantage of seeing the zoom in effect. Let's take a let's take a close look at the video now.
Porsche. There is no substitute. Porsche. There is no substitute.
So as you can see, the video is actually a static image. It's a static image with the audio that has been loaded now. It was a 30-second audio. And you can see that from the very beginning to the end, the actual static image is now being zoomed into. Uh, we can look to see on the left-hand side, kind of just use it as a reference, see where the focus of the camera is up until that point, and let's look to see how far it zooms in. I'm going to come to the very end, and let's see, sorry, let me go to the very end.
There is no substitute. Porsche. There is no substitute. Porsche. There is no substitute.
So as you can see, it's zooming in. You can actually control the amount of zoom in one of the parameters. I did not include that parameter, but conceptually you see what this can do. You can see it zoomed in further in, closer to the bumper. Just some observations. If you had a static image, storybook, long form video, you could use some of these effects to um, animate some of these static images. Video generation can be rather expensive. So if you have a long form story where you want to animate some of your static images, this is a great tool to be able to use it and deploy it, right? You can continue to zoom in, zoom out, multiple transitions if you'd like. As I mentioned, there's a number of parameters that you can play with here. We could take a look at the Droid app website one more time, and as you can see, there is a lot of potential options to alter the specific static image with this functionality. So please feel free to play with some of these, experiment, and if you'd like to share your comments or share some of your images and use cases, that'd be great. Um, we haven't loaded and experimented with each one of these because there's so many options here, but maybe you find a specific use case where it is really appealing to you. As an aside note, I would take a look at this website. Um, here are some examples of some transitions and how they work and how they're incorporated into the Droid app website, I think it gives you a pretty good idea of the transition effect as well. So you could take a look at that. I think it's pretty useful. Um, but I think that takes us to the end, and I hope that this information was useful to you. Please feel free to use it um, and take advantage of it for maybe your static images and animating those static images. Thank you.